The President of the Republic of South Africa is the head of state and head of government under the Constitution of South Africa. From 1961 to 1994, the head of state was called the State President. The President is elected by the National Assembly, the lower house of Parliament, and is usually the leader of the largest party, which has been the African National Congress since the first non-racial elections were held on April 27, 1994. The role was originally founded to be distinct from the now-defunct role of Prime Minister, but the two roles were merged in the 1983 Constitution, which specified a 4-year term of office. The 1993 and later constitutions limits the President's time in office to 2 5-year terms. The first president to be elected under the new constitution was Nelson Mandela, and the incumbent president is Jacob Zuma. Under the interim constitution, there was a government of national unity, in which an MP from the largest opposition party was entitled to a position as deputy president. Along with Thabo Mbeki, the last state president, F.W. de Klerk also served as deputy president, in his capacity as the leader of the National Party, which was the second largest party in the new parliament. But de Klerk later resigned and went into opposition with his party. A voluntary coalition government continues to exist under the new constitution, although there have been no appointments of opposition politicians to the post of deputy president. The president is required to be a member of the National Assembly at the time of his election. Upon his election, he immediately resigns his seat for the duration of his term. Electoral system: South Africa has a nearly unique system for the election of its president. Unlike other former British colonies and dominions who have adopted a parliamentary republican form of government and those that follow the Westminster system, South Africa's president is both head of state and head of government and commander-in-chief of the South African National Defence Force. Contrary to presidential systems around the world, the President of South Africa is elected by the Parliament of South Africa rather than by the people directly or an electoral college, thus answerable to it in theory and able to influence legislation in practice as head of the majority party. The Constitution has thus prescribed a system combining both parliamentary and presidential systems in a unique manner. Only Botswana uses a similar system. Although the presidency is the key institution, it is hedged about with numerous checks and balances that prevent its total dominance over the government, as was the case in many African countries. The presidential term is 5 years, and is limited to 2 consecutive terms. Thus the electoral system attempts to prevent the accumulation of power in the president as was during apartheid or in many other African countries. Presidential powers: Head of State and Government of the Republic of South Africa, Leader of the Cabinet, appoints ministers and members to the Cabinet, awards and confers the national orders of the state, Commander-in-Chief of the South African National Defence Force, appoints the Chief Justice, Deputy Chief Justice, President and Deputy President of the Supreme Court of Appeal. Must sign all acts of Parliament, may declare war or peace. The President is addressed as Your Excellency, or Mr. Madam President, and referred to as the Honourable. The official seat of the President are the Union Buildings in Pretoria and the Tunis in Cape Town. His living residences are Malembandlopu in Pretoria, Genadendal in Cape Town and Dr. John L. Dube House in Durban. List of Presidents of South Africa since 1994, Parties, AAAA African National Congress, latest election. See also, State President of South Africa, Prime Minister of South Africa, Governor-General of the Union of South Africa, List of Presidents of the South African Republic, State President of the Orange Free State, Freedom Day, References. External links: Office of the Presidency.